Like, you've caused me a hardship at that time. That's why the family is not speaking to you. He received a lawsuit for $25,000, and he invested that money into a business, doing a general purpose store. Within literally 6 months, he received an eviction. He came to me and he asked me to save his business as well as his credit. He was behind in rent. At that time, I had just left Nordstrom's. I had grossed about $1 million in sales for them, where I was getting a 9% commission. So I left there to start my own home business to be able to utilize my gifts for my own well-being of building my own legacy. So as I started the home business, he came, he asked me to bail him out. As far as his business goes, I agreed. I invested $5,000 to get our business up and off the ground for Valentine's Day. At that time, I had already had clientele for my business as far as I do baby shower favors, gift baskets, diaper cakes, all type of specialty gift baskets that you wouldn't find into a regular store. I feel like my brother took advantage of me during that process. I came into the store, Your Honor. I was very clear with him. The $5,000 that I invested, I knew that I would make a 3 to 4 times profit in the month and a half of that $5,000 because I didn't have a lot of time to prepare all of the gift baskets, and I was doing everything from scratch for Valentine's Day. I ordered the merchandise. It took about 7 to 10 days to come in. When the merchandise came in, I began to work. I worked 12-hour shifts was the minimum. Some nights I stayed the night inside of the store because I knew I only had a 30-day time frame for Valentine's Day to get there because we're in January. So at that point, I'm working around the clock. I'm creating the baskets. It was a little tough for me because I'm used to doing a lot of the larger baskets. I can buy the smaller baskets at a pre-made, but because we order at such a short notice, I was forced to do both. My brother did not participate. He did not help with anything as far as just collecting money.
But it takes more than just, baskets and managerial skills to run a business or to own and operate a business. And I just feel like...
At this point, I said to my brother, now we're fast forwarding with my car. About 2-3 weeks in, his car went out. He asked to borrow my car. I told him at that time, hey, I haven't really been driving the car that much, so you have to get an oil change on the car just to get it going. He said no problem. He would take care of the oil change. About a week and a half, 2 weeks in, he blew the engine on my car. He forgot. He never went and got the oil change done.
Your Honor, the agreement with the car was that it would be used for business purposes. When she gave it to me, or when I initially started driving, it had the check engine light on. So I don't understand why the car would be an issue.
Your Honor, at this point, I put the car in the shop. I told him, along with the $5,000 now, if you look, you'll see the receipt as Exhibit D. I submitted. The vehicle was $1,852.97. Of course, with an engine being blown, they charged me a $900 I left as a deposit. I told my brother he would be refunding me that money as well as the $952. That was the balance to pick the vehicle up. My brother agreed that he would take care of it. We could take it out of the money. At this point, I'm still working around the clock. My car is in the shop, getting fixed. At this point now, it's Valentine's Day. I worked till about 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning. That was like our last customer that came in. We counted up the money. It was $22,138. I told my brother at that point, because it was so late at night and I didn't want to get robbed, I said, let's leave the money in the safe at the store and we would come back and we would divvy up the money the following day, which means I would take the money out that he was to give me, my $5,000 back, along with my car repairs on the vehicle. And at that point, he agreed, and then I gave him a business plan for us to set up so that the business could be successful. My brother basically came in the next day. I was supposed to meet him in the store. I called him, he wasn't there. I look in the safe, all the money is gone.
I don't feel like I took anything from her. If anything, I gave her more than I took because I gave her the opportunity to be a business owner. I gave her the opportunity to have her own business, to go from managing to actually owning. So at the end of the day, when you take into consideration my time, my effort, my money, what would I owe her?
The
It's just,
reality of it is,
like,
Your Honor,
how-
if he would just apologize, he has never even said, I apologize. He put me in a hardship. He literally put me in a
Your Honor.
hardship for this whole situation.
Jerry.
For me to even have to be here, and it's wrong.
What?
Like, you've caused me a hardship at that time. That's why the family is not speaking to you. I had children, and you didn't care anything about me walking, me not being able to get my kids around. You did not care. You could at least just apologize. Start with that. Maybe we can mend it if you start with that.
All right. But when I realized that if she hadn't come along, hadn't given you that $5,000, haven't produced these baskets, if she hadn't done that, we wouldn't be here saying, what should we do with that $17,000 to $22,000? So clearly it is reasonable for her to say, at least on that part of the investment, on when you're looking at $17,000 to $22,000, certainly 5 of it for that return is absolutely fair and just. I'm not getting into what you do with the rest of the money. All I can see is that she put in $5,000, which, let's be honest, was very beneficial to you at the time. And so therefore, I think it's very fair to say, without figuring out what she should get as a wage, she put in $5,000. In light of what it helped produce, she's entitled to that $5,000 back. So therefore, I find for the plaintiff in the sum of $5,000.
Before we do that,
Your Honor.
that-
Thank you, Your Honor.